2, 1, go! That was pretty close.
Oh yeah, yeah. For a production board, that thing's fast. Yeah, because this is 18S 4P, 205 kV motors, so really high for 18S. And yeah, I don't get till like 20 mile an hour, 25. I don't start taking off on it until then. So yeah, that's for a production board. That's really impressive.
4.2
to 30.
Yeah. Nice. That's
bad.
pretty good.
Yeah, if I was just getting into this thing, I'd just fucking buy one of these.
Yeah.
It's 18S 4P. I ride the same 18S 4P, just P42A. And initial impressions are that it's fast. It's the fastest production board, quickest off of the line, most powerful throttle that I've ridden. Deck could be a little longer. I like a wide stance. I like all the adjustability of it. I like that you can change the ride height, you can change your wheelbase, you can change all of that. That's fantastic. And I like how they approached keeping the rider weight away from the bushings and just having you putting input on either side is being what's influencing the board. Yeah, only gripe is the deck shape and length, honestly. Other than that, it's a super powerful production board. Like I said, one of the most powerful production boards that I've ever personally stepped feet on. It's really good. It's really fine-tuned. I like that there's not a huge dead space before you get into throttle, like most boards, especially that come from the Linnpower Ace deck side of things. Usually their dead zones are pretty substantial, which I get why, but coming from a racer standpoint, you don't want something like that, because you come out of a corner, get on throttle, and you don't know exactly where that throttle begins. It's awesome. I love how they were able to get the extra deck lean, like how Duality's achieved that same thing, because that's one of the things that has always made me as a skater feel disconnected from my board, is that I'm not like in the carve and it doesn't go as far, like it doesn't lean as far as I want it to personally. Like on a snowboard, you get, infinite amounts to lean. You can put the board like this, but with even TKP, RKP, DKP trucks, which DKP get pretty close, but RKP and TKP don't. You get about that much angle, and then that's all that you get. But with Dualities and these, you get so much more than that, even more than 3 links. Because 3 links, they give you a lot of turning, but they don't give you that same deck angle to match the turn, which is why I personally don't like them. I think I would need a little bit more time on the one to give a definitive answer, but I can say right now, with just a couple of laps, that they're really, really close. Like I've gotten it up to, pretty high speed back there on the straight, but as far as like an entry-level race board, you pretty much can't get better than that, honestly. Even like the MLR, like how you said in your initial review video, how you liked this better than the MLR. Completely agree, because I've tried your MLR too, and that thing's so much better.
My name is Johnny Mooney, pro racer. Been racing for a couple years now. Consistently podium place at some of these events. Last year, EskateCon 2025, got 5th in pro, placed multiple times in the ERL. Talking about the Linnpower, the one today. It's rolling up right now.
Feeling a bit neutered by the shoes.
It's our demo board today. Right. Comes with the Linnpower racing slicks. I think they're super rad, right? Just without a binding just now, my first couple laps, I wasn't able to break it loose, which is a big deal for wheels nowadays. It's got a lot of traction. As far as the acceleration curve and everything, I think for an entry level, it's super awesome. I think it's like 90% of what a lot of guys have nowadays, like that are in the DIY level. So I think that the higher level model is definitely gonna be enough for, pro level racing. A couple things that I like about it. It's like a 3-link, right? With the trucks, you have the linkages down here. So you got the adjustable. The nice thing about it is you don't have to take the whole truck apart to get to the actual bushings, right? You just unscrew these and you have access to the bushings, which is super cool. I'm sure there'll be a lot more help as time goes on, which we'll see how these things hold up, which I'm excited for though. They look super promising. They also have ride height adjustments, right? So you have these bolts on the side that you can adjust down, which in a racing scenario will make you feel more locked in if you don't need that extra clearance. Because it comes with an enclosed all steel gear drive, which is super rad. It's adjustable, so you got a couple different gear ratios you can have fun with. So you got a longer track or shorter track, you can adjust that up or down for your top speed. That way you're utilizing as much power as you have. Like I said, acceleration curve is really good. Braking is right there. I'm just not used to the curve on the remote, which I'm sure comes with time. Put in perspective, I think I was about a 38 second lap on the one, and on my pro race board that I race, consistently 4-wheel drive, I'm like a 31 second on this. Yeah, so on the one, I'm about a 38-second lap on our, test track here, and on my 4-wheel drive Raceboard, I'm about 31. So just put in perspective, but also I don't have a binding on this one. And also this is my second time on the board. So I do feel super locked in. I think that I could cut it down by another second or two, even more if I did have a binding. But for an entry-level Raceboard, I'd say that this is gonna be top dog coming up, especially for the price point. A couple things that I think that can improve on the one here. I think it's a great starting board. One thing that I noticed when I was riding it is it doesn't have any way to lock in your back foot that I noticed. You can kind of, just with the bracket back there, there's nothing on a regular traditional deck or on a stooge deck, there's a little rise at the end that'll keep your back foot locked in. With this thing, it just, there's a little lip from the actual deck right here, but it doesn't really keep you locked in as much when you're doing the hard acceleration. The stooge trucks and the 3-link trucks are nice because you can adjust your linkages up or down depending on how much turning you want, right? These are set linkages, so I think you're at a 45-degree angle in the front and a 15 in the rear, which is actually a pretty good setup for most tracks. But just the tunability there, that's the advantage you have with a DIY or a stooge board. Like I said, I think that I could pick up probably their higher end model that has a little bit more power, throw a binding on it, and do fairly well in even a pro class race. That's how much power this thing has, I'm confident. But as far as placing top dog, I'd have to put my hands on the higher level just to see, how it would stack up to a 4-wheel drive race board. This thing, I didn't feel cramped at all. Once I toss a binding on there, I might feel a little cramped, but I'm gonna be honest, it felt pretty spacious for what I was doing, right? I'll always take advantage of extra space. You could probably extend it another inch or so, and I'd be happy with that. But for the way it sits right now, it has a really good turning radius because of the wheelbase, so I'd argue that it's fine the way it is. Acceleration is pretty solid. It really gets in and goes, especially on the low end. I think that, with nowadays, a lot of these races are starting out, just a go light. So this thing will actually get up and go, which is awesome. I think that it can compete there. Higher end power, I didn't really push it yet, so I can't vouch for that. But as far as the acceleration curve, I think they did a good job on it. Braking doesn't kick in. I don't know if there's a remote or a setting on the remote that we didn't mess with, but I feel like the brakes could be a little bit stronger. You did tighten those back bushings, dude. Those things are super scrunched. Kind of finishing thoughts. I think that this is a super polished product. I wish I could get my hands on the higher model. That way I could actually compare it to a pro level race board. This is their entry level one, which at $2,000, it's insane value, especially with the way that it looks and the way that it comes in as far as like a polished product. I mean, the wheel set alone, if you buy that alone off their website, it's like $400 or something like that with the tires. And then you get a 18S pack with a decent powered ESC, and they're almost Reacher motors. They're a little bit different, but they're pretty close. I think that it's a great package for anyone trying to start out. I think it's better than competitors' brands out there nowadays, I'm gonna be honest. So, for sure.
Here it comes.